Good morning, everybody. I hooked up my Tiny4x4 Lizard ESC to my little micro receiver from Tiny4x4, and I tested it on the little Mamba motor that I've got, not the Tiny4x4. I tested it with the Nitro Hobby ESC. If I can get this ESC down here in the back. Little Nitro Hobby ESC that I have for this motor. Yeah, that's not going to happen. The Mamba motor got extremely hot to the point where I couldn't touch it after about 1 minute of runtime, and that was with a 35C Nanotech 2S battery. Not going to happen. Just not going to happen. That motor will melt Orlando plastic parts. Body, if I put it in a body or underneath a cage, if it gets too close to it, the heat's just going to radiate out of it and melt it. The little brushless motors for Orlando's, not including the Tiny4x4 Komodo, that's just a whole different beast, and I don't think it'll fit in here. But the little ones, I'm pretty sure they will. The little 4500 kV no name brand ESC or brushless outrunners, pretty sure it'll work with this. The Tiny4x4 ESC is 20 to 40 amp. I got the paper right here, and it says it right at the top of it. Where did I see that? 20 to 40. So those little brushless motors, the little 4500 kVs, they use a 35 amp ESC that you can get with them. They're kind of pricey, which, I mean, these are too from what I've seen, but I've already got this one. I've had it for over a year and haven't used it, and I think it just seems like I should put it in here. But with that said, I'm not even going to talk about my gaming RC Baby Fat Girl issues in this video. It has nothing to do with the chassis itself. It's issues with my electronics that I've been testing to put it together, and yesterday just seemed like was not my day for getting anything to work. Tiny4x4 Lizard ESC with that 35 amp brushless outrunner no name brand motor for these, the gear ratios or gear reductions of those motors are 1 to 10, 1 to 30, 1 to 50, and 1 to 100. 1 to 100 with these worm gear axles, which are 19 to 1, are going to be extremely slow. This thing will move at snail speed. So that's out of the question, the 1 to 100. The 1 to 10, I don't want to tear anything up, so I'm not going to do that. I don't want it that fast. 1 to 30 would probably work okay, but I want more torque for crawling. So I'm thinking the 1 to 50 gear reduction on the motor with the 19 to 1 worm gear axles. That should give it really good torque and crawl pretty good. The other issue that I've noticed is with these stock suspension links on the worm gear axles, the upper links, let me bring this in close, the upper links are out all the way. I've only got a few threads left on each end, and the lower links are in all the way. So with that said, I'm going to just set it down, push it down like it's got some weight on it, and you can see the angle of the top of the axle right here, and the pinion is pointing towards the ground in the middle of the vehicle, and the rear is worse. So that's not going to work with the stock links in these axles. There will have to be changes made. So I started thinking about it, and PO2 Tundra links are the longest Orlando links that we can get, as far as I know. It makes sense to stretch it out a little bit, wheelbase wise, and use those links. That also, not only will it help tilt the axles in the right direction, the pinion angle will raise up. That'll give the drive shafts the proper high clearance. That is the bonus to these axles. You have a really high clearance for the drive shaft. Somebody brought that up on Facebook. So using the PO2 links, I'd be able to make high clearance links with this. Sorry, I heard a noise outside. That would give high clearance links, high clearance drive shafts, really low torque with that motor and these axles. I want to get the Metal Gear servo from China, from AliExpress. Nobody on eBay seems to have it. Unfortunately, we can get the motors and the ESCs and the lights for those ESCs, but we don't have the servos on eBay from A-Main or Go Nitro Hobbies or Nitro Hobbies. I haven't seen them anywhere on eBay. Those Metal Gear servos for the Orlandos would be a great thing to have quick, but they're not there. So take note, A-Main and Go Nitro Hobbies and Nitro Hobbies on eBay. Metal Gear servos for Orlandos. Yeah, anyway. I'm just going through all the best option upgrades I can think for this chassis, and these shocks, or the external spring shocks, the 39mm or 40mm, whatever they are, which those will keep it lifted. They're strong springs. These will let it squat. Yeah, I mean, it's, and we need a servo mount for this. My option is going to be aluminum sheet, and raise it up off of the top of the axle a couple of millimeters to keep it away from the top links. These top links, if you haven't noticed, they are right at the top of the motor, or the transmission. Words fail me. Axle housing. Those upper links are right at the top. Look how shiny that is. It's crazy. Man, you polish the crap out of these things. They are like almost mirrors. Anyway, a lot of my pausing while I'm talking is being blinded by these axles. just kind of surprising how shiny they are compared to the other Orlando. Here we go. Oh, good morning. Always have my phone over. Here, let's compare Orlando axles and aluminum stuff to these new ones. If you can't see that shine compared to this, it's just insane. They were never shiny to begin with. Kind of a satin finish. These are different. Anyway, if you guys want to do the math and figure out the final drive, have at it. I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to... My mind is pretty much leaning towards 1 to 50. Gear reduction on the motor, 19-to-1 axles, and just go with it. Yeah. Stretch the wheelbase a little, drop it down, higher clearance links. The smooth skid, WID, Dominic Widmer designed, will work great with high clearance links. So that's pretty much all I got to say. Other thing I could say is complaining about my own personal issues with this TS001 and TS002 not working with my micro receiver and the 1000 RPM motor. 500 RPM motor worked great with the TS001, and it worked great with the Injora AX7. The 1000 RPM did not work good with my AX7 or with that 001 ESC. And the 1000 RPM is the one in the Game ERC Baby Fat Girl chassis. I'm probably going to have to redo. My solder joints came out really good on this, and there is no power at all. I don't know what the deal is. Yeah, I mean, it did nothing. The servo didn't work. Steering servo, the motor, drive motor did not work. So I'm probably gonna pull the little plastic piece off here and solder my wires directly to the pins, and then to a new receiver, because I did rearrange these and get them in the right spots. They were in the wrong spots. 4 of the wires were wrong. I did fix that problem. It didn't take very long. If you don't know how to do that, it's really simple. Take the tip of an X-Acto blade, hobby knife, and you just lift these little plastic things right here. And then the wire pulls out. And then you can just put it in a different slot. So, some people don't know how to do that. 20 years ago, I would have just cut the wires off of them little metal pins. Yeah. So anyway, not sure what's going on with that. It was free, but that's my plans with this and my thoughts and ideas, and I'm going to keep this video under 15 minutes. So I appreciate all the likes, shares, subscribing, comments, all of it. Have a great weekend.